Welcome back to another episode of Wirelessly Speaking, presented by RF Connect. In each video, we share insights, advice, and tips on technology and business models to help you achieve your wireless and untethering initiatives. Here's what's on our mind today, Wirelessly Speaking.
FirstNet is the national first responder high-speed wireless network. It was recognized in 2001, after 9/11, that interoperability in wireless communications between different agencies was a great need. In 2016, they issued an RFP to figure out who was going to build and run the FirstNet network. AT&T responded to the RFP with something more than they asked for, a different idea. They said that you could use all wireless bands for FirstNet, all of AT&T's commercial wireless bands, and they would treat the FirstNet SIMs differently using priority and preemption with a separate wireless core. So if there's an event and things get busy on a cell site, priority will be given to the FirstNet users. And if it gets busy enough that it can't go through, it will preempt and drop other users' calls in order to connect the FirstNet calls. Of course, in an emergency, everyone's going to be using their phones. And if it gets too busy, FirstNet allows those FirstNet users that have a FirstNet SIM to make sure their calls go through on that AT&T network. Now, the only calls that won't drop or get dropped potentially are 911 calls, which are the single most important calls out there, 911 calls, so those don't get preempted. But any other user traffic can be preempted in an emergency. This gives FirstNet users a lot more bandwidth and capacity than just a single 10 megahertz set of spectrum. Now, it's not currently in building code, but it is coming because as FirstNet becomes more widely used, the demand for this wideband LTE network and soon to be 5G network is going to rise as different applications get developed for our first responders to use this high-speed data network. Everything from location tracking in building, identifying where 911 calls come from, uploading blueprints of a building on a heads-up display as firefighters go in, and then tracking them through that where there might be any issues. Also as a backup to the LMR systems, the P25 systems that are still going to remain the primary critical communications pathway, but it's also going to be able to use FirstNet as a backup. Who knows, potentially someday even as the primary, and maybe the LMR radios become the backup. Right now, it's a both thing, and nice to have both available. The other thing even about that public safety is making sure you have wireless coverage for all three major national carriers is important, as well as any regional carriers, because if someone has a wireless phone or in a building and can't call 911, that is a direct issue with public safety and something that should be addressed.
If you like this video, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to our channel, where you can find more Wirelessly Speaking episodes and other informative videos. Thanks for watching. To start a conversation, you can connect with us these ways.